Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now?
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Hoping I ain't lose religion, texting prayer hands up the message sending on. Know I've been blessed, I've been seeing prophets, mustard yellow shirts, louder than the broccoli, dancing in my chucks, feeling out of body, safe to say the man got me on. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? God in my system, then the one I'm kissing. One mic extensions, I don't look like expeditions on. Man, it's too loud. Hear me in your city, cause when I start spitting.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Mama, dirty the roads that I've traveled, but I'm on my way. Mama, trust all the steps on my journey, 'cause I'll be okay. I know it's gotta hurt when you know you could've had a president. Guess that I would rather be the man. Maybe one day I'll go back to school. Think I'm probably kidding, but I still mean it. They've been trying to screw me, but I've been a genius. Cali looking more like home since I made moves. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. Charles, we take a look at this Charger club in of 3 straight.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he stopped immediately there. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Hey, easy, easy. Wider. Hey, go orange.
A first down throw here for Rivers. Looking for Allen, who's got him on the slant. A quick check on the numbers for Keenan Allen from last week. Comfortably up over 100 yards when cruising past that number, and 2 touchdowns.
How'd you like to be the D coordinator? We have to find a way to take him out of the game plan. We cannot let him do that to us.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'd open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. Taken down to the backfield. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 21 carries, 105 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a real pressure.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On third down, Fournette. But he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Game down on the field, and they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. Playing at a high level, that's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent game, but all for nothing on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw it. Flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue able to get him for a loss. Little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Rivers. Allen has it, left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it. What people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.